if I had to pinpoint a moment in my life where I realized I was going to be a director, it would be very, very early on. I didn't know I was going to be a director at the time, but I knew I was going to be a storyteller. I was in kindergarten. I was actually in kindergarten when I was supposed to be in preschool, just because I went to the wrong class. And I wound up, it turned out that I was the smartest kid in there anyway, and I was the youngest one, strangely enough. Teacher passed out tests. Okay, I'm like in the second row, perhaps, row of 6 rows across, maybe 10 seats deep. Okay, she passes out the tests, I get mine. Teacher goes all the way down, comes back to me, and I'm drawing on the back of my test. And what I was drawing was an astronaut on the moon, planting the American flag, and shooting laser bolts at nothing, But there was a little story there going on. And she says to me, "You need to stop that drawing and you need to do your test." So I looked up at my teacher and I turned my paper over and I said, "I did my test. Here it is." And it was finished and it was all right. And she couldn't say anything about it. She turned around and walked off, and I turned the paper back over and I started drawing. At the end of the day, they came and they found me and they said, "You're not supposed to be in this class. You are supposed to be a year younger." So I was moved back to preschool, which is where I was supposed to be. And it's strange how little things like that happen that really kind of determine the course of our life, because if I had stayed in kindergarten, I would have been a year ahead of where I was for the rest of my life. All of my personal relationships would have been completely different. The course of my life could have been completely different, which is strange. But one thing that never changed, pardon me while I itch my nose. Did you enjoy that? One thing that never changed is I was always a storyteller, It's strange. Like, here we go. I was digging through some of my old artwork. Here's one I found. It's weird. It's kind of a horrifying image, if you ask me. Not overtly horrifying. But this is before I discovered anything like Francisco Goya. But that was from high school. And I don't know. I guess I can see all the teenage angst and frustration there in it, which, was eventually... I don't know, became my frustrations with the world that I channeled into my various artwork. But I don't want to get too pretentious, because, I know people hate that. I hate talking about it. I hate listening to it. But I tried to just find meaning behind everything that I did. Definitely a life-changing event was when we all met and formed Mutantville, and what became Mutantville.com. And what eventually became the Mutantville Players, which has blossomed out across, Mutantville.com, across Facebook, across all these places on the internet, and has turned into all these amazing projects. And every project we meet so many new amazing people, and I just feel really, really blessed by it. So even now, I guess I'm glad that I did not remain in kindergarten. I was forced to go back where I was supposed to be, because perhaps I never would have made the relationships that I have made over the years that have become, what they've become and turned me into the person that I've become. If any of that makes any sense to you, because I don't think I understood a word of it, but what I'm trying to say is I enjoy filmmaking. I enjoy working with you. I enjoy hearing your ideas. I enjoy what you bring to the table, whether you're an actor or special effects, editor, the musician, the composers. Whether you bring any of these aspects into it and we collaborate, whether you're the designer, the wardrobe person, all these individuals, that's what makes filmmaking so amazing. I always quote Orson Welles, who says, "This is not my movie, this is our movie." And that film is collaborative, and it takes something from all of us. And it's hard being the writer in that you have to be the one that sits down with a blank page staring at you. Okay, everybody can always tell you afterwards what you did wrong, what you need to change, but very few individuals can really sit down and wrestle with that blank page and force it into something cohesive, something entertaining, and hopefully something engaging and enlightening on the human condition, if I may be so bold. That's the hard part. But the amazing part is when actors come into it, and other people and other artists, and they all add their 2 cents, and they say, well, what if we do this, and how about if I approach it from this way? And it becomes something totally different, and the whole project takes on a life of its own. And now I've seen that happen with C for Chaos. I've seen that happen with Devil Comes Down. Well, not so much Devil Comes Down, because I had a lot of control over that. It was really small. And Ghost. And it's been really fascinating. I really enjoy it. And I want to thank you all. I'm not going to name any names, because every time I try to name names, I forget somebody or I praise somebody else too much. So just know I'm talking to you.